The Momenzo app is an automated real estate video production app targeted directly at realty agents, and will it put professional video or real estate video shooters like myself out of business? Hi, I'm Grant, and I recently came across the Momenzo app, and I hope I'm saying that correctly, forgive me if I'm not, and it is an app targeted directly at realty agents wishing to produce their own professional looking real estate videos. Now, there is no hiding the fact that the quality of the video that you can produce and shoot with your smartphone is getting better and better. And if you'd asked me 5 years ago about shooting professional looking real estate videos with your smartphone, I would have said don't bother, just buy a cheap DSLR kit, but not so much now. Essentially what the Momenzo app does, it enables realty agents to produce their own professional looking and branded videos quickly and efficiently just using their smartphones. It does this by using a series of guided templates for you to copy and follow, and then the app automatically edits this together with the property details and your contact details if you're a realty agent. You can of course then directly upload your video to your property listing service or your own website or YouTube or social media channels. Now, to cut a long story short, this is actually probably the first example I have seen of automated video apps that I think actually does a really good job. And this is largely due to the fact that the app is guiding you through what shots to shoot and for what duration to shoot, which it then auto edits together to produce a professional looking video. So to get started, you need to download the app. Now, this app doesn't, at the time of recording this, have a free or trial version, and it will cost you, I think I'm just referring to my notes there, US $19 a month to use it. So you will be then sent, once you register your phone details, you will be sent an SMS code to activate it, and you can also then use that to upload perhaps your profile picture if you're an agent and your contact details. For the purposes of this video though, you will see Momenzo allowed me access to the trial version, which doesn't have a photo or my logo. So the best way to show you how this app works is I went out and shot a small property here in my local town using the guided version of the app. Okay, let's put this app into practice, and I am here at a modest 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment that some realtors that I work for kindly allowed me access to so I could shoot this video. And I have got my trusty iPhone 11 and I've got the DJI Osmo Mobile 4, which I'm going to use to shoot this video with. So I'm going to switch over and I'm going to have some screen recording going at the same time. So I'll start the Momenzo app. We'll go into a new video and I'm going to follow along using the guided one, do exactly what they say. Switch into the guided, start a new recording. Not sure you can hear that, the fridge has just started up, of course. Let's call this one Great View Street. We go next. So essentially the first part here is give you the project name and you go through the details of the property. So we're all set to go, and let's go start filming. Now, the street view of the place is not that flash, so I'm going to do, well, I think a nicer exterior is actually the sort of, as you come down the sidewalk here and around to the front here is a nicer exterior shot, because the app is wanting me to do the exterior shot first. So let's do that one here. I'll center the gimbal, and that's telling me to do a left to right movement, and it looks like it's a 5-second shot. So let's go next, and then let's hit record. Yep, I'm happy with that shot. And you see also here, I can either say tick the green, tick for done, or else I can actually edit that shot. And I've got some basic controls here for brightness, contrast, and saturation. And I'm going to leave them as they are and say tick done. And it'll give me the congratulations and time to move on to the next shot. And it's wanting me to do a living room shot. Rightio, I'm in the living room now, and it's wanting me to do a right to left pan of the living room. So let's hit green for go, and there's an example, and it's actually wanting me to do a wipe, which is actually always a nice way to come into a living room. So I might try following that movement, perhaps wiping off the door frame here. Two, 3, 2, 1, go. So here I just followed along with the app's guided shot order and type of shot that they were specifying or recommending. Okay, so I followed the guided steps, and essentially I'd like to add a few more shots here, and when you've completed the project it takes you to this screen here where you can either do something like add a standard shot or a voiceover style of shot, or even talk to the camera. And I'd like to shoot the extra bedroom because it's a 2-bedroom, we've only shot 1 bedroom, so let's go for a 4-second shot of that bedroom. Now it also only gave me 1 living room shot, so I would like to add just 1 more shot here. So let's scroll through and perhaps put a 4-second shot in here of the living room. Now one of the big selling points of this particular property is these fantastic views out to the lake and the mountains. So I'd like to add one of those in. Now and this app actually allows you to do this, is I actually shot a shot with the iPhone and the gimbal here of the view before we started. So we can go, let's add another shot. So we go to standard, we go on in, and if you see here I can click on the folder icon and I can get access to my camera menu, and here's a shot that I shot earlier. So let's import it. I can trim the start, so I'm just as I'm coming through there and out, and trim the end. So let's have a look at the final video. So that was the video. Now I have to say I actually think it does a pretty good job. And I'll put a link in the description below this video to my website, and I'll post just a copy of the video so you can have a harder or more detailed look at it. Because you may have noticed in this video there's a little bit of jittery or staticky type movement in that, and that is essentially because my iPhone shoots natively in 30 frames NTSC, and I'm recording this video in PAL 25 frames a second, and I'm mix and matching the format, so that caused that little bit of jittery or not such smooth motion in this video. The good old NTSC versus PAL formats rears its head again. Now the app also has a Pro version, which is basically the same as the guided version, except you can pick and choose what style or type of shots that you want to shoot, and it will guide you through the ones that you pick and then auto edit them as in the guided version together at the end to produce your video. For example, it has a commented style of shot like this one. Here's an example of using the commented feature on this app where I perhaps am the realtor describing and welcoming you to this one great view terrace. Or you can use the voiceover style of shot such as this. And here's an example using the voiceover part or application in the app where you can perhaps walk through the property and talk about the features, like it has got a gas fire which you're going to need very shortly as we are heading into our colder months. And it even has a speed ramp setting where you can do a speed ramp style of shot. So after having a pretty good play and using this app to shoot the property, here's what I think are the pros and cons of this particular app. Pros: it works. Firstly, I think it does a really good job, and as I mentioned earlier, it's the first time I've seen one of these auto editing styles of app actually do a good job, and this is of course due to it laying out the type of shot and the type of duration for each shot, and then it just pins it all together for you with its auto editing functionality. Which then leads me to the next biggest pro of this app, and that is that it takes away the time and hassle of editing. That to me is probably one of the biggest selling points of this app. And the next pro is flexibility. Even though it is guiding you, you still have the flexibility to choose the style of shots that you want to use, and even the duration once you're more comfortable with using the app. So for example, you could do a traditional complete walkthrough style of video where you're just walking and talking, showing the property as you go, and that video might end up being 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 minutes long, and it will just ping it all together with the property details and your logo and picture. Another pro is that the app also has multiple styles of templates which you can use, and if you go and have a look at the website, I'll link below in the description, it'll give you a quick example of the different styles of templates to auto edit your video with. And it also has quite a good range and quite decent music options so you can chop and change the music for your video. And of course, if you're using an app like this, you have the ability to upload directly to your listing websites or social media channels. Another little pro that might not be so obvious is that it forces you to shoot in the landscape mode, which is always nicer for video with your phone. However, the downside of that is though Instagram is essentially a square or even a 9:16, I believe, format. And at the moment, the app doesn't let you shoot in portrait, it only lets you shoot in the landscape mode. And lastly, the app has a good support page for questions and problems that you may have if you're signed up for the app, which I see is quite often lacking in certain apps that I've had to play with. Now the cons. I have to say it was actually a little bit fiddly when I was trying to sign up for this app in terms of activating or getting the activation code sent to my phone so I could actually get going with it. And this might have been due to the fact that I was signing up for a trial account directly through Momenzo, so I still had a few problems with that and it took me a little while to get the thing working. This could have been just particular to me and my situation setting up the app to have a play with. Next up, when you're shooting on the app, you can't change your camera lens when shooting, which is a little bit of a downside because a lot of the newer phones, like your new iPhones and your new Samsungs, they have multiple lens angles or focal lengths that you can play with, from ultra wide to a bit more zoomed in or telephoto. And once you start shooting in the guided, you're locked into perhaps the ultra wide that you've picked and you can't change while shooting. Also, currently you're limited to a maximum video resolution of 1080p, so you can't use 4K yet when shooting with this app. And obviously you are limited to the templates and the music that they have available currently in their app. Now, another little niggle that I had with the app, and it would be great to see this functionality put into the app, is that when you're entering the property and you're using the guided version, for example, if you entered, or say for example, it's a 4-bedroom property, the guided app still only lets you shoot 1 bedroom. It would be kind of cool if you entered 4, it then automatically asked you to shoot the 4 bedrooms in the app when you're using the guided version. Not a deal breaker, and you can still add those on to the end, but they come after the set guided framework that they are using in the app. Now, another little niggle, which is a little bit of a personal taste thing, is that they are using, I see, a 12-second dissolve. I think it's 12 seconds dissolve between the shots, which is okay, but I would like the capability to turn that off perhaps if I didn't want dissolves between the shots. And there's also this kind of little funky little crash zoom between the last shot and your logo, and I don't care for that. It'd be great to turn that off. Overall though, I think this app actually does a really great job for the realtor on the go that perhaps has an interest in shooting their own video marketing content, and obviously it takes away the time and hassle of editing. So will it put us professional videographers out of business? I don't think so, as there will always be a place for professional service providers. An example of this is that I was out with a realty agent this morning looking at a property to shoot, and is a multi-million-dollar property, and that agent has no intention or interest of shooting or producing their own video and photography content. They will leave it to the professionals. However, with saying that, I definitely think this app has a potential for filling a gap in the market for realtors. So if you're interested in the Momenzo app, I'll leave a link below. And full disclosure here, Momenzo actually gave me an affiliate link, which will give you 10% off if you go through my link. And if not, you can just go directly to their website or your phone and download it from the app store. And as always, if you're after help in shooting professional real estate video, make sure you check out my 9 tips for shooting professional real estate video, and I'll leave a link below as well. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Now the street view of the place, I don't know if that's going to get better on auto.